Newt Gingrich is going to make a fool of himself here in so many different ways on Crossfire on CNN. I don't even know what to make of this. Here, watch for yourself.
I mean, Bill de Blasio is...
He's their campaign manager.
No, but
he didn't endorse him.
He is a very liberal person in a very liberal city, just as the other great joy of progressive Democrats, Elizabeth Warren, is from the most liberal state in the country, arguably maybe with Vermont. And what's interesting about de Blasio, though, is he's not a courageous progressive. Listen to what he said about what he's going to do to change New York. I think this was perfect.
Those earning between $500,000 and $1 million a year, for instance, would see their taxes increase by an average of $973 a year. That's less than $3 a day, about the cost of a small soy latte at your local Starbucks.
Now, I think this gives us, years ago we used to talk about sort of the Chablis and Volvo liberals in the suburbs. This gives us our brand new definition of the courageous soy latte. But not just soy latte. Small. Now notice, a genuine radical like Dan would have said, I want a large, I'm going to hit the rich.
He's a quad guy.
I want a large one here. Okay.
Venti.
A cautious, would have said, I want a medium size. I'm not using the Starbucks terms because it confuses me. I want a medium size soy. But no. De Blasio's example of courageous leadership is, I will change the city of New York and rich people will not pay more than a small soy latte. Do you know how hard it is for those of us who are in the business of trying to characterize liberals to have somebody jump up and say soy latte? How do you ridicule somebody who themselves is already saying soy latte?
But imagine being a business in Manhattan who's got some serious decisions to make, whether they stay in Manhattan or go somewhere else.
But let me ask you a practical question for a second. Is there a single red state Democratic senator up for re-election who could embrace soy latte liberalism without getting defeated?
What I love so much about that clip is that de Blasio's argument goes right over Newt Gingrich's head. Like, right over it. Like, he had no idea what point Bill de Blasio was making. Because Gingrich is trying to slam de Blasio as being out of touch, this out-of-touch limousine liberal with his arugula and his latte, soy latte from Starbucks. But Newt, you missed it, you idiot. He's slamming the rich conservatives on Wall Street for their soy lattes and their Starbucks-going habits. He's saying to them, look, man, you make between $500,000 and $1 million a year, and I'm just here to tell you that when I raise your taxes by a grand total of a measly $973 a year, that's going to go towards universal pre-K for people in New York City. That might go towards health care. That might go towards improving the infrastructure. That could go towards any of a number of amazing, fantastic things that are great for such a tiny little cost to you that it would only be equivalent to a little soy latte every single day. But Gingrich, he's so smug, he totally misses the point because he's trying to slam de Blasio like de Blasio is this soy latte drinking out-of-touch liberal who's with the elites and the rich people himself. But no, de Blasio slamming those people. Newt, you are those people. You are more with the Wall Street crowd. You're the one that wants to cut their taxes all day long. You are the person that you're mocking right now. He's like, I love how Newt Gingrich, and this is all an act because he can't possibly be this dumb, where he's pretending here like it's the Republicans who are the party of the common man and the populist, and like, yeah, Gingrich is looking out for you, the Republicans are looking out for you, and Big Bad de Blasio with his soy lattes is against you. The point he's making is that he's for the little guy and the middle guy and the regular guy, and he's the populist. You're the one that's against those policies. And by the way, Newt, are you really against that? Are you that stupid to be against that? Raising taxes on people that make between $500,000 and $1 million a year, only $973, to get pre-K, universal pre-K through? To fix so many systemic problems? Stop income inequality at least a little bit? But see that there's no argument from people like Newt Gingrich. See, the thing is, he doesn't even conceive what de Blasio is saying properly, so how could he disagree with it if he doesn't even understand what he's saying? They're foolish. These guys are foolish. Newt Gingrich is foolish. And by the way, I said it once, I'll say it again, I'll keep repeating it until people start getting it. to anybody who may actually believe that Republicans are the party of the little guy, like they're looking out for the regular guy. Understand, when they talk about cutting taxes, they're not talking about you. They're not talking about you. That's not Kyle Kulinski speaking. That's the tax proposals of every single Republican president going back to Reagan and onward speaking, okay? Don't take my word for it. They've done comparisons. Take every single Republican candidate, Democratic candidate from 1980 until today, look at their proposals. People like Newt Gingrich, all these different Republicans, they want to raise your taxes if you make under $250,000 a year, and they want to cut your taxes if you make over that number. It's the Democrats that do the opposite. The Democrats want to cut taxes for 95% of the population and only raise it a little bit on the richest ones. So don't pretend like, oh, this guy is so elitist and out of touch. Newt's acting like de Blasio's out of touch. This guy is one of the most in-touch, populist people I've ever heard with his message. Now, it's a question as to whether or not he'll actually act like that when he governs. I hope he does. But Newt Gingrich just swinging a total miss.